Perfect timing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. We will. Cheers, Cole.
Hey, Danny.
Lucy, over to you. We'll let you host it. You go for it. Hello, Lucy.
Perfect. Hello, how are you?
Pretty good, thanks.
Same deal again, guys. Just let me know via the chat section if you've got a question, and we'll whip through. Louis, do you want to kick us off?
John, just wondering if you could give us an update on how Joe's going, and I guess just how big a blow was that to lose him before Stump too?
Obviously a big blow to lose before Stumps, and how he's going. I haven't spoken to him since he's come off the field, and obviously people get hit there. That's pretty painful. Got hit this morning in the nets and had to go off to hospital for a bit of a scan, so he wasn't in great shape. So to get another one in there as well was unfortunate for him, but I'm sure he'll be okay in the longer run.
Right. Okay. I mean, there's always a few giggles when it's around that area, but is there a sense that it is it might be reasonably serious, John?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure the doctors and Joe are probably the only people who can tell you that. I've not been inspecting it myself.
Understandable. Thank you, John.
No problem.
Thanks, Louis. Rory.
Hiya, thanks, John. With that, obviously, we don't know exactly what's going on with Joe, but it clearly required quite a lot of bravery for him to come out and try and dig in for the team there tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Joe's a leader, a strong leader in this group, and he showed a hell of a lot of character to get out there and fight, because I know he was pretty sore. So, and then once he got hit again, to stay on, you could have easily walked off there and a night watchman could have come in. But, that's the character of the man and what it means to him to be England captain, and he wants to show his team how hard he wants to fight for the team and how hard we're prepared to fight to get back in this game.
With how much he means to this batting lineup, though, with how they certainly this year have really sort of survived on his runs, was it a real deflating moment in the dressing room there when he went?
Well, anytime one of your best players gets out, it's the team takes a bit of a knock. But what you've got to understand and believe is that the rest of the guys are going to fight as hard as he would, and try their best to survive the day tomorrow to get ourselves out of this game with a draw. It's a big ask for us. We know that. We know it's a big task ahead of us. However, we're definitely going to put in the effort to fight for what we believe we could get in a draw.
And nobody relishes a bloody-minded battle more than Ben Stokes.
Exactly. You've got a guy there with that character. You've seen it before. He's done some really special things in an England shirt. And I know he's exactly the same as Joe. He'll be fighting as hard as he possibly can. He showed that again tonight. Real character. Rory Burns the same. Putting a real shift there for a guy who's been struggling for runs. And he put in a real shift there and showed a lot of fight for the guys. And the boys are fighting really hard. Coming up a little bit short at the moment. But tomorrow we've got a chance to go and show what we can do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rory. We'll go to George.
Hi, John. We've seen a few times wickets have been not counted because bowlers have overstepped. What is there that England can do about that, and why is it happening?
Well, it was two times there's been a wicket when we've overstepped. I can promise you that we're practicing. In practice, we practice really hard. We always have umpires in place. The guys are, I would say, short of a gallop. In terms of we didn't get any middle time in the warm-up games, and so I know I said that last time in Brisbane. And the guys should be getting better by now. However, every now and again the guys are stepping over. It's something that we work really hard not to do. But guys are just, for whatever reason, are not quite doing it right on the field. Every now and again I think we bowled 11 or 12 no balls out of something like 700 balls in the first inning. So it's a small issue, but it's an issue when you get wickets off a no ball.
Okay, thank you. Did England pick the right attack for this pitch?
Well, the wicket's obviously turning now, so we would have wanted Joe to do a lot of work in the second innings, to bowl a lot of overs in the second innings, and we felt the ball would move around under the lights a little bit more than it has. So in hindsight, you might say actually we could have picked a different side, but at the time we felt like we picked the team that would win the game.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, George. We'll go to Rory and then to you, Dean.
Hi, John. I just wondered whether Ollie Robinson bowling 3 overs of spin was ever in the plan ahead of this tour.
No, it wasn't in the plan. However, he has done it before. He did it down at Sussex. I was coaching down there. I've seen him do it. He actually did it reasonably effectively when he was playing at Sussex a couple of times. It's something he did as a kid. He started as an off spinner, as a batter and an off spinner. So it's not an alien skill to him. Something he can do. Something he practices not often in the nets, but he does practice it. So it's something he can do. It's another string to his bow, and I think he actually bowled it okay today.
Dean, over to you.
Yeah, hi, John. You just talked a little bit about England not learning about the bowling no balls. Did you get a sense that across the tour that England had just not learned from their mistakes at all?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that we're still making mistakes, but I think we're making less of them than we were at the gather. So no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that we're not learning from mistakes at all. The guys are certainly talking about it a lot, and they're practicing it a lot. And now it's about going out into the middle under pressure and executing it. At the moment we're not executing as well as we would like. However, I can tell you now it's not for the lack of trying, and it's not for the lack of hard work. And the guys are putting in a real shift, and we're just trying to improve the players and get them better so we can compete more in this series.
When things are obviously not going the way that you would like, I mean, you've been out here before. You've seen what Ashes tours can kind of evolve into. I mean, just how hard is it as a group to get up each day and go again? I mean, there's obviously a lot of desire and commitment and all those qualities that professional sportsmen have, but I mean, just how hard is it?
At the moment, I'd say the guys are in pretty good spirits with the context of what's been happening. We're obviously behind in this game. Like I said before, we're not out of it. And we obviously lost the first test. But the spirit in the dressing room and the character of the guys in the dressing room is still really strong. So yes, I've been on tours that have we've lost. I think I was in and around the 06 tour. We lost 5-0, and that went downhill pretty quickly after we were out of the series. However, this group of players is a younger group, and there's some guys there who are really evolving as cricketers and learning as cricketers. So a lot of the stuff the guys are learning and trying to grow their games and trying to improve to make sure that they can compete with these guys. I see them working really hard at the games day in, day out, and I'm confident that they can maintain their spirit because they're a pretty close-knit bunch of fellas.
Thanks,
Lucy, we'll take 2 more after this, please.
No problems. That'll be you, Scott, and then Andrew after that.
Yeah, John. Just wondering on reflection, if you believe, I guess you guys got your tactics right in the first innings with the ball, and then I know the Hobart Test is a fair while away, but are there things now you look to do differently when you have a next opportunity for pink ball in Hobart?
What do you mean by tactics, mate?
Just, I guess, in terms of like having Ben come in and bowl that sort of leg side short, or let's be honest, short bowling field set, and have that set for, I guess, a large portion of the first day?
Well, Ben bowled 12 overs of that. There was obviously 90 overs in the day. So the other 78 overs, we were trying incredibly hard to prize out to 2 or 3 or 4 very, very fine players at the top of the Australian order. I thought the Australians left the ball particularly well and have done all series so far. I think that's something we can learn from as a batting unit. But also as a bowling unit, we've got to find a solution to that. Whether that is changing our length and bowling slightly fuller, or changing our line, and bowling slightly straighter. That's the adaptations we need to make on the field. I know on the first day, speaking to the guys, and then you can say as long as you like, but you need to bowl fuller, guys. You need to bowl fuller. You need to bowl fuller. But the guys that got out there with the ball in the hand felt like every time that they went a fraction fuller, there wasn't a lot of movement on offer. And I think actually that day in particular was the lowest amount of movement there's ever been in a day-night test match, for whatever reason, the ball or the conditions that we were playing in. And so they felt if they went over length, then they were going to go for a lot of runs. So it's a really tricky balance to strike as a fast bowler, finding the length to hit and the right length to hit on the wicket. But it's a challenge that I thought this morning, when the guys went out this morning and bowled in the first hour, they showed what they can do and how to get wickets on this pitch. And I think that's something we'll take into the next game and the day-night game as well.
Last one, you, Andrew.
Hi, John. Just go back to Joe. Obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing and all that, and given that he's out now. But I mean, was there a sense that, given the conditions and the tough conditions for coming in, was there a sense that England didn't dare not have Root and Stokes out there in these conditions? Open the door at one end. Was there a concern that would be curtains tonight?
Sorry, Andrew. I don't really understand what you remember with the question, to be honest, mate.
Well, I mean, was it Joe at the crease? Was he too important to retire hurt, given what happened to the innings without him in the first innings?
What, retire hurt before he went in, or when he was out there?
Well, as in, is he too important to the batting to not have at the crease? To bring in new guys in those conditions. Was that inviting a collapse this evening rather than trusting him to tough it out even though he was injured?
I don't think there was any doubt in Joe's mind that he was batting. He's the captain of England. He wanted to get out there and show people what he could do, and he felt he was fit enough to bat. So he was going out there to bat and to show people what a great player he is, and also what a brilliant leader he is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're done. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Danny.